Man, am I excited today. I am going to whoop your butt in this conversation. So I hope you prepared because I've been sitting on this one for like 2 weeks. So let's go. All right.
We're recording. You actually just did the opening of the show right there. So you're great job,
Oh,
great introduction. Way to go.
oh,
What are we
okay.
talking about today, Big Phil?
And we're talking about me. I want to talk about me.
We don't have enough time to do that right now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, okay. Hey, enough about you. Let's talk whatever. Hey, we're going to talk about the quarterbacks from the AFC North and the NFC. Oh, wait, let me just see what we got. And the NFC North, both North conferences. So we're going to do that. We're going
That's
to
right.
rank
Well, That's right. Our first show we're doing is just the AFC North.
right.
And then we'll get to the rest of the divisions there after that. So you don't even have to tease the other ones there. All right.
Well, okay. Well, you should inform me this since you're the boss of this whole damn thing. So
I did. You didn't listen. Just like all the other meetings that we have, you don't listen.
Just
and it's
like
okay.
you growing
so
up. Okay, just like you growing up. You didn't listen to me. Okay, yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes, okay.
That's how it works. I didn't listen to my father, and now you don't listen to your son. It's all good.
Well, I can understand why you don't listen to your brother, maybe. But
well, yeah, that's
enough
said there.
Said, yeah, that's right. All right, what do we got? Let's go. AFC North quarterbacks. We're going to rank them, and I'm going to be the host just for a second here.
Go.
You get to go first, which I don't like. I love to go first, but you go ahead. Who do you have? What are we going to do? We're going to go from 4 to 1 or 1 to 4?
Yeah, always 4 to 1. I mean, if we start with number 1, come on, that's not exciting. Let's let this build up. Let's let it marinate a little bit. But at number 4, AFC North quarterback rankings, whoever the hell the starting quarterback is for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I put that little question mark there right there because we really don't know how this situation will play out. There will still be a lot, I think, that has to be determined from now until the beginning of the season. I know that Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, Arthur Smith, they all are guys that got chips on their shoulder. Mike Tomlin, we know that he constantly lives with that chip on his shoulder. It just comes with the job of being the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach. But that being said, these guys still, I feel like, have a lot to work out from now until the season as far as who's the starter, how the offense looks, how they build around who is eventually named the starter. And with Justin Fields and his, obviously departure from Chicago, right? What do we see consistently there? Just, I think, a lack of ability for him to drop back and throw the ball consistently, accurately, from the beginning to the end of the game. He has improved dramatically, I think, in improving his motion. Even seeing clips of him this offseason, it looks like he's tightened up his motion again. With Russell Wilson, can he just kind of put it together and be, the Russell Wilson that he once was for the Seattle Seahawks? And that is manage the game extremely well, throwing the football accurately, making good decisions, and then occasionally allowing his athleticism to push the football, down the field at times, because he still throws one of the better deep balls in the NFL. And that's really what the Steelers have to rely on. So they got a lot to solve here so far. And number 4 for me, the Steelers quarterback room.
Wow, really good stuff there. I mean, you hit all the points, that's for sure, about both quarterbacks. Arthur Smith, the new coordinator, Mike Tomlin, the head coach. But I would just say this about everything you said. You're wrong. I mean, that's wrong. Number 4 is going to be Deshaun Watson of the Cleveland Browns.
That is crazy.
No,
crazy.
It's not. No way. Hold on. Why Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, we saw them last year. They had some moments where they really played well. Now the scenario's really changed. You just explained all the reasons, a lot of reasons. Oh, they got all these things going for them up there. And I'll talk about that in a second. Deshaun Watson, did you watch him play? Did you think he was sharp? Name me the game you went, wow, Deshaun Watson, that's the guy I saw. Oh, so you're backing what I just said. You want to change your little thought process there on who number 4 is?
No, I don't want to change it. I don't. I still would pick Deshaun Watson going into the season as my quarterback over the other 2 for sure.
Yeah, listen, I'm talking, it's a little bit more than that to me.
Yeah.
Where the situation, who you are, talent, and what's the coaching and everything else like that. But hey, they lost Alex Van Pelt in Cleveland. Not that I know Kevin Stefanski is the big play caller there, play designer, and he did a great job last year. But I got to see Deshaun Watson stay in the game, and play more than one game that's good, and the other ones that come on. We talked about this last year. What was he doing when he was healthy? He was playing out of control. And we talked about it earlier. I mean, it was really unbelievable. It was like he was out there and he was mad at the world. He was going to try to beat everybody up on the defensive side, which when you try to do that as a quarterback, you lose. That's, you just can't win that kind of battle. And he's all the money, the investment, it's time to play, protect yourself, manage the game better. It's not all about we got to make it happen right this second. And I thought his downfield throwing overall, I just didn't think it was not sharp. And they had people wide open for touchdowns, especially early in the year. I understand, but that he hadn't played a lot of football up to that. But even then, when you're throwing the ball down the field, you don't even have to be that accurate. Just get it somewhere in the area. And he didn't do that. And, so that's why I have Deshaun Watson number 4.
Yeah. So you and I, we have that 3-4 switched, right?
Right.
And I agree with a lot of things that you're saying. And I guess that's where, for me, as if I were to go into this season, I probably would still have or prefer to have Deshaun Watson as my quarterback over the other two right now. And you make a lot of good points, because I think Russell had a better year than a lot of people like to give him credit for. And obviously how it ended there with Sean Payton is a little unfair to him and what he was able to do in that transitional year from the head coaching situation. But, all that being said, I don't know why I still I guess really the saving grace for me with Deshaun Watson is that I have a little bit more faith in the Kevin Stefanski situation, the skill group that's surrounds him, right? With Amari Cooper, Njoku, the running game, how the team is built, even defensive coordinator wise with Schwartz. That's where I feel like, I know we're judging the quarterbacks here, but I do think that Deshaun Watson is in a better environment right now, than the other two in Pittsburgh.
Well, again, nice. I understand, but I'm going with Pittsburgh for many reasons to be the third one instead of the fourth. And Russell Wilson, he got slapped around again, his reputation and all that. That's got to be, listen, that's a big motivation. When they count you out, oh, he doesn't know how to get along with people and this. And you said it, he still has talent. He's got still a good, strong arm, can throw it down the field. And I think the big thing he did in Denver, he didn't turn it over, but he played so careful that the fact that he didn't turn it over didn't do me any good, because he was just and I understand it too. He was put in that situation. He felt the pressure. He was doing everything just not to turn the ball over. And I saw him pull the ball down and run when he didn't have to many times, because he wasn't completely sure about what he was seeing. And he's in the pocket. He gets tight. His first instinct is to run. And I thought he just passed up some plays. And, I think about that. But the other thing is Justin Fields. He got better as the year went along last year.
He did.
And his running, and I heard your brother say this, and he said something I actually agreed with, that was kind of supposed to be funny, man. That Justin Fields is the best running quarterback in the NFL. And that's saying a lot from Lamar Jackson. But Justin Fields is a big, hell, he can be a running back. He can be a linebacker. And he's got a strong arm. The throwing, it's I saw him in the little OTAs or whatever. Man, he's got a compact motion, Matt. And it's actually so tight. I wish he'd loosen it up a little. But so that's my number 3. I'm going to take Russell Wilson and see how that works out with Arthur Smith. It is really the perfect marriage, Arthur Smith being there. I think this is going to be fun to watch. Pittsburgh offensive line is going to be better. The play calling, play designs are going to be better, and the quarterbacks are going to be better.
Yeah, absolutely. So I like all that stuff. And I think, too, Justin Fields, I agree with you. His motion, it definitely looks more compact. It looks like he's really focused on, that aspect of his game to be more accurate, because of his long looping motion caused a lot of his inaccuracies, early on in his career. So love all that sentiment. All right. So now, right, I went first the other round. All right. Now you go first. All right. Who's your number 2 quarterback in the AFC North?
Oh, man, this is tough. You look at this. This is a pretty good lineup of quarterbacks in the NFC North. But my number 2 is Joe Burrow. And it wasn't number one. He's number two in this division right now. And, many
Wow.
reasons. Yeah, I know. I know it's hard to do that. It was because when he was healthy, I thought he was physically, once he got healthy, he was throwing the football better than I've seen him throw it in his career. And his movement, it just gets better and better. And his throwing on the run, I don't know why. I was watching Joe Burrow's highlight reel a couple of days ago of his 50 throws, and I'm just wondering, dang, you just forget the second level play or whatever. He's in the pocket, gets rid of the football quick. I love their scheme. It's not really complicated, but it's easy for the quarterback to see and make the decision. I don't know if you agree with that, but it's not a lot of formations and movement because we got talent. Whoops, I just knocked my water over. We got talent, so let's sit it there and let Joe make the right decision, which we know he will. And that decision is going to come down a lot of times to our receiver being one-on-one or being in an area against the defensive back in that receiving core. Very good. Might not be as good this year. We'll see. Can they keep Jamar Chase and T. Higgins in there? I think they will. Yeah. So Joe Burrow's my number two.
Pretty amazing.
By your facial expressions, I can see you don't agree with me.
No, I do agree with you. Number two, I have Joe Burrow as well. Yep.
Damn.
Number two is Joe Burrow. And, for a lot of the same reasons that I think we're both thinking about here, right? And Joe Burrow is phenomenal. And that's what's really wild to me is to think that Joe Burrow is the second best quarterback in his own division when we think that Joe Burrow is one of the, easy top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL, right?
Yeah. It would be disrespect to say one of the top 10. You got to narrow that down quite a bit. So
I know, but it's definitely a debate though too, because there's a lot going on here. I think that's like it's a little bit like the receiver position. I feel like now in the NFL too, it's you can kind of have it for 1 year and then lose it the next, so it's like you got to always kind of reclaim, that title, in the quarterback world right now. And right now, I just feel like Joe Burrow, we know how great he is. I totally agree with all the extended plays. What they do for the quarterback there in Cincinnati is phenomenal. At times, I actually think there's too much pressure on Joe Burrow to perform at a high level, consistently the way that they do. We've discussed this multiple times in our show and other episodes, how we would like, Cincinnati to alleviate some pressure on him by being a little bit more well-rounded on the offensive side of the football, developing a more patient run game and all those things because of how good Joe is, behind the line of scrimmage with making people miss and making great decisions. The injury stuff, I'm not going to even add that into why he is number two, right? More so just the fact that I really think the guy at number one, it's just hard to deny kind of what he has done when he has stayed healthy as well. Right. And that's where I don't want the injuries to play a factor in either one of our, decisions here with 1 and 2 in the AFC North. But Joe's awesome. Zach Taylor, help him out a little bit more consistently in the run game and stuff like that with the way that they run this team. And then the skill group speaks for itself. He's got a lot of skilled guys around him. They do a great job of facilitating. But you're right. The stagnation of their offense, I think, leads to the fact that people can kind of tee off on those obvious passing situations against Joe Burrow and these guys and make it a little bit more difficult for him at times to kind of stay healthy and stay upright. And that'll be the big question mark, really, I think, for them this year. It's just, can they kind of keep building on what they've done? I really do like the kid that they drafted from Alabama, Jermaine Burton. I think he's a very good football player. So add him into the lineup in that skill group that's already pretty damn good. And, the Bengals are in a great situation right now offensively.
Yeah, you bring up one point. We just talked about that. Listen, and I haven't heard it much this offseason, which thank God. There's just not enough quarterbacks to go around. Oh, okay. I mean, we're always going to judge them, but whatever. But there are a lot of really good quarterbacks right now in the NFL. Yeah. And we got a lot of good backups in the NFL right now, too. And what hurts the backups, a lot of it's not talent, Matt, right? It's just the fact don't get a lot of practice time and you get thrown in there out of nowhere. Come on, be better than the starter or be as good as they are. That's hard to do. But I'm going to just say this real quick. The Bengals, what they showed a lot of people, Jake Browning, man, I would say most of his stint as the starter for the Bengals, surprisingly not good, but really good.
Yeah.
And, it was really interesting. and I'm trying to make these quick, that he just said he learned so much from Joe Burrow. Just relax, just, don't get all hyper and just be calm and play that way. And I believe it. That first game he played down in Jacksonville, damn, he was like, somebody give him a Coca-Cola, get him some energy. But he was just, but he just was always like looking down and just playing the play. It was really cool. And I know he probably did learn that from Joe Burrow, who shows almost no emotion when he plays the position during games. So we agreed there. Really shocked. So give me your Lamar Jackson. I know you got him at number 1, and so do I. Why do you have him at number 1?
Yeah, I think really for him right now is just that, of course, the year that he just had, obviously staying healthy. He's the former MVP now going into this year again, 2 times over. Like Joe, his leadership, his attitude, how that just, goes through the entire program, right? From just top down, from the fans to the management to the team. Right. It's just intoxicating, and you can see that they have that power on their teams when you see them play, and Lamar and them, I just know for a fact that they were a Super Bowl caliber team. We discussed that multiple times, you and I think Lamar is kind of reaching that next peak as far as his game and where he at as a player, as a leader, right? As a quarterback in the NFL. We've seen Lamar adapt to the NFL game more than any other quarterback, that we've seen really in a long time. And that was, from the Grey Roman era of being a little bit more primarily a running athletic quarterback to now we see him being a great pocket passer and decision maker and distributor of the football as a passer, and then scrambling as a result of, just trying to make plays. And I think Lamar right now just is really kind of in the peak of his career as a well-rounded quarterback. And that's why I have him at number 1.
Well, what's he got to work on? Let me ask you that question. So you're talking all this nice stuff about Lamar. What's the biggest thing he has to work on as a quarterback?
I think with him, well, we've discussed this a few different times, right? The fact that, we want to see more anticipation throws. We want to see him, start to throw the football or layer the football versus zone coverages, throw people open more often, right? And we don't see that a ton because he has a strong rocket right arm and he can just kind of wait and just zip it in there. So that's something that, Todd and him, if they're evaluating themselves after last year, is can they have a few more of those plays, kind of like how Tua and McDaniel have with their Dolphins offense, where it's all rhythm based. Can they add that stuff to their repertoire there in Baltimore to go along with the power passing that he distributes?
Yeah. Well, look, that's going to be the hard part, because he doesn't anticipate as much as you'd like to see a quarterback in the league do, because you said it right. One, he has a strong arm. So strong arm guys, by and large, are not going to be great anticipators because they don't have to be. But he needs to do that to a higher degree than he does. There's no doubt about that. But the fact that he can run is another reason why he does. He says, well, I'm going to wait and see. If I don't really like it, then I'm going to try to run. And, the other thing I really like what he did, I forgot what the weight was. Did he say he's down to 205? He's kind of going back to his rookie year. And,
he lightened up.
There's other quarterbacks in the league that weigh 205. And go, you got to put on weight. No, that's who Lamar is. Lamar is supposed to be thin and look like that. As I say, he's nothing but bone, ligaments, and skin. That's what he's got going on. And so it's going to be interesting what that does for him. But to do what Drew and I are talking about, the anticipation, that has to be from the first day of OTAs, and just do it so much that it actually can become a bigger part of him. And the last thing real quick is deciding how to throw the ball. And it really, we saw it in the championship game. The play called, you look at the guy run down the field, it called for a high, soft throw, and he would throw a rocket. And then when he needed the rocket, he would throw it high and soft. And I think those are big things to learn and to get better at. But we got Lamar at number 1. Now he's got a few line changes coming in front of him this year. But we know he's going to be good. I mean, damn. And I can't wait to see if he even looks faster, Matt, than he has been in the last year or two, because he, slimmed up a little and really became the guy he's supposed to be. So
yeah,
there you go.
And I think for him too, outside of just our quarterback rankings 1 through 4, when we look at the overall picture for each of these quarterbacks, Lamar is in, I think, the best surrounding cast from coaching to the players that are around him too. I mean, we have a solid receiver core. We saw the emergence of Zay Flowers and how talented he is. We got a healthy Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, who really impressed when Mark Andrews was out last year. The addition of Derrick Henry now into that offense, being physical and strong, that's huge. And really, I think Todd Monken's experience from a year ago, now building on that, right? And understanding, all right, there's regular season football, then there's playoff football, and just kind of adding more to that Rolodex of how to balance what my quarterback's going through, what our team is going through, and how to win those games.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes when you're in those games like they were in a championship game, hey, it's going to be ugly. And that's just, and you just play accordingly to it. Don't try to think that we're going to go out there and razzle dazzle and just blow them up because we got talent. You got to be willing to go down there and fight and play a low scoring game and win those ugly games, which, hey, a great learning experience for them. Baltimore, still one of the best teams on paper and in talent in the NFL. So it's going to be fun to see. So that was pretty cool. You want to give us last thing? Give me your best backup in the AFC North. Who would it be?
Best backup, I probably would have to go with Browning in Cincinnati. It's kind of hard to go away from him because of what he has shown. And I guess second best would be whoever is the number 2 for the Steelers this year, because I feel like both guys will be experienced and also have that big play potential too. So Browning and whoever, filters out in that 2 spot with the Steelers QB situation.
And Jameis Winston is a backup. Man, he's going to fit in great at Cleveland. So that's a
good point too.
This division, you're right. At 1 and 2, it looks pretty damn good. So, hey, good stuff. It does look good. Good stuff. So that was fun, Matt.
That was fun. Okay, yeah, hey, you did all right yourself too.
I'm actually going to pay you a little money for today.
Hey, well, maybe. Appreciate it, Phil. Thank you.
You got it.
Thank you.
All right, babe. Good stuff. Good things.
All right,
we'll
be back. We'll be back for a Along Came Polly reference there.
That's right.
We'll be back with a little bit more QB rankings with divisions here coming up soon. That's all for my co-host there, Phil Sims, and I'm Matt Sims. We'll be back, Sims Complete, with more QB breakdowns coming up soon. Thank you so much to Believe and everyone else too as well. Sign up on our YouTube page, like and subscribe to Sims Complete. Also check out our videos on Believe YouTube page as well. Like and subscribe. Write in some comments too as well. Me and Big Phil will do our best to answer those in the near future. So yeah, I know. We got torn apart a little bit with our NFC South rankings, man. So we'll have some more fun with that here pretty soon with some Q&As. Yeah.
let's get a few of those guys that didn't agree with it and tell them to come on and we'll bust them up.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know if we want to put them on the show, but we'll answer some questions. We'll do that at least.
All right, that'd be great. That's fun. That'd be good.
All right. That's all for us. The Sims Complete. We'll be back with more QB breakdowns and rankings here soon. See ya.